Hi, it's Mary back with a project share. I have created an ink swatch book, and it was inspired by Jennifer McGuire at jennifermcguire.ink. She's jennifermcguireink.com. She has a YouTube channel as well. She created these wonderful free PDFs that you can download. She has like Simon Says Stamp, Stampin' Up, Hero Arts, Paper Tray Ink, a lot of different ink companies, and then she has all the different colors of inks listed, so it's a really great, easy to use PDF that you can download and then use that to create your own ink swatch book, which I thought was really nice of her. The little pockets that I am using for my ink swatch book were created by Simple Stories. It's for their Snap album. I found mine at Michael's. They were retailing for $3.99, and I got 10 2x2 sheets. So each little pocket is 2x2, and there were 10 pages in there, so I really liked that. The first Michael's I went to only had like the variety packs, and I was kind of disappointed, and I went to a second Michael's with my husband and found the 10 pack. So I was thrilled that they offered the 10 pack of 2x2 squares, because Jennifer used a coin collection of 2x2s, and that's fine, but the footprint is bigger, and I didn't want a bigger footprint. She has a lot of inks, and I don't need that big of an ink book. Even if I grow, I've got plenty of room in this smaller size, and I do like smaller sized albums. I don't like large albums anyway. For this kind of thing, it just is easier on my hands and my wrist. I do like the fact that it can flip over on itself and, you know, not take up as much space that way. I did try to put it in a binder because I have a couple of these on the side, and it just took up too much space, so I took it out, and I really like this, and I can just hang it up by this little ring right here and go with it. So the way I organized mine is after I stamped all my inks, then I organized all of the cards after I stamped everybody out. And I did the same with these, how I keep my Copic markers and even my cardstock, is I use the same way that Copics. I'm probably saying this a lot, and I don't have to say it this way, but I don't know. My tongue is tied. They start off with their BVs, which is a blue violet, and then you go into violets, and then you go to the RVs, which are red violets, into the reds, and then into yellow reds. So that is how I keep my cardstock, and how I decided to file my inks as well. So in some of these I have no swatches in it, so let me put this as a protector under there so you can see there's a hole on this page, and I just really tried to line up what I felt the ink colors were kind of graduated in a row, ones that looked more similar and stuff like that, to try and make it a little easier for myself. And so here's some more, and then you can see there's some empty spots, but that's how I organized mine, and I am loving this little book. Even just going through the process of stamping out every single one of your inks. If you're like me, you have inks that you have purchased and never even played with. And this was such a great way to really look at everything that I own and see how they compare. Like this Doll Pink and the Peony 16, this is a pigment ink. They are very similar. And the difference with this this pigment Versa one, it is a little bit shimmery. So it was really kind of cool to see how some of these were very close, and just how beautiful they are. This one reminds me of this one right here. This is Rocket Red Gold Pigment Brilliant, so it's got a really pretty sparkle to it. And this is a Pigment Hampton Arts, and what is so funny, it doesn't have the shimmer, but the tone is quite the same. I got a couple of Hampton Arts little tiny cubes and some card kits that they had on clearance at Michael's. There's not a name on the ink at all, and I'm like, that is just crazy, because what if you really like that color? You can't go buy another one. I just think that's kind of crazy, but that's my opinion. So here you can see there's more reds and how some of these are falling into, you know, a lighter red, which is a pink, but it's not a violet. And then those are my dark ones. And then to your yellow reds, and then into your yellows. And I noticed I don't have very many really pretty yellows. This is squeezed lemonade. That's a distress ink. That's a distress ink. That's not really a stamping ink. Even my lemon tart, which is the lightest one I have, and this is a paper tray ink. This is Harvest Gold. Although these are yellow, they're really more on the side of an orangey yellow than a true yellow. And the Summer Starfruit from Stampin' Up! Is just its own weird color. I've never been really overly fond of it. It's like a pukey yellow green. I don't get it, but it came in the collection, so there you have it. I still have it. But even my Daffodil Delight, when you put it out here with these other colors, you really see it has a great deal of orange in it. So that lets me know I really need to shop for some very pretty yellows. So there's that one. And then I've got my greens that are yellow green, and then you get more into your greens, and then you get into your blue green family. So this exercise was actually quite fun to do and to really see how the inks work and stuff like that. Also, I read on Jennifer McGuire's blog that this one girl was having a problem. She was stamping out her colors, and after a while she noticed that her inks were getting muddy and she was telling how she had cleaned it off. She used a baby wipe, stamp scrubbing. Well, come to find out, when I was doing mine, I had the same problem, but not with all my inks. I found the worst ones were actually the Hero Arts, which is actually really great ink. See if I can turn the page if I've got some Hero Arts over here. The Hero Arts brand was really bad about doing it. And some of the Simon Says Stamp. But what I found was, even after you have like sprayed your cleaning pad and scrubbed it and then dried it off, and it doesn't look like there's anything else on there, stamp it on the side on some scrap pieces of paper. And this is one of them. I can show you. This is actually one of the green ones, and you can see there's green. I hope you can see it. This one's like really evident, but there's a lot going across here, and there's a lot of green on here, and you really probably can't see it on the video that much. That's just a dirty smudge from a dirty one too, but they looked clean, but yet they still had ink residue on them. So in between every single one of my colors, after I'd washed it, and then after I put it on the drying section of my stamp cleaner, then I just went ahead on some of the scrap white paper and stamped it until it was not stamping any kind of residue color left over. And so if you have that kind of problem, that's a solution for you. So anywho, I hope you've enjoyed my little ink swatch book. I hope this inspires you. I think it's an awesome tool, and it didn't take me very long. And I do thank Jennifer McGuire so much for taking the time to do this for us. And then on some of the ones where she didn't have, I just used my own handwriting and just cut some extra squares out and just filled them out by hand. It all works good too. So anywho, thanks for watching my video today, and I hope you have time to make something crafty for you or someone in your life. Bye!